Project 613, day 61. So we're talking about the Jewish calendar. How was it set up? It was a specific mitzvah for the Sanhedrin, the Jewish High Court, to set up the calendar. As we spoke yesterday, there are many elements to the calendar. There is the month, which is based off of the lunar cycle. Then this calendar also has to fit with the seasons, with the cycle of seasons, which there is a discrepancy between them. And therefore, sometimes we need to add a 13th month to the year in order to make sure that Passover will always be in the spring, Sukkot will always be in the fall, etc. Now, on a month-to-month basis, there was specific involvement between the people and the Sanhedrin when it came to defining the new month. So here's the deal. Since the month depends on the lunar cycle, the Sanhedrin, the sages of the High Court, needed to be thoroughly educated in astrology. They needed to know how exactly the moon will look on any given day, on any given season. Now, here's the deal. In order for the High Court to determine that today is Rosh Chodesh, today is the beginning of the new month, the night of the 30th day. So if, let's say, you have a month and 29 and a half days pass, that means on the 30th day is going to be the birth of the new moon. The moon is going to completely disappear, and then it's going to reappear as a small, tiny sliver. People would watch to see if they could actually see that sliver. And if they see that sliver, they would come to the Sanhedrin and they would give testimony. Just like everything in Judaism, anything that comes to the Sanhedrin, it was determined based on the testimony of two kosher witnesses. The same thing was true with regard to that moon sighting, with regard to that small little sliver with the birth of the new month. So if on the eve of the 30th, Jews saw this sliver, they would come to the Sanhedrin and they would give testimony and say, we saw the new moon last night. And the Sanhedrin wouldn't take their word for granted. They would interrogate them. They would investigate. Did they really see it? The way they were able to interrogate or investigate them is because the Sanhedrin, with their knowledge of astrology, their knowledge of astronomy, they knew exactly how the moon would look. So they would ask so many different questions, and when it was determined that these two witnesses legitimately saw the new moon, they would make the announcement, now is the new month. So the beginning of the new month would be on the 30th day from the previous month. And then we would have a new month and go from there and count another 30 days, and the same process continues. However, if no one came on the 30th day to give testimony that they saw the new moon on the eve of the 30th, then Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the new month, would be the next day, on the 31st day. And so the previous month would not be 29 days, the previous month would be 30 days. We'll talk more about it tomorrow.